Hey guys, it's Luie here, and today we are going to be addressing the internal affairs that go on behind the scenes of One Punch Man, the strongest hero. To start with the mods first, let's open up a discussion about the issues. I will address the behavior of our mods. It's a lot of information that's going to be covered. I made a script for this, and I've also had images that will be in place. I will not be covering the images. You guys will see for yourselves, but if you want me to clarify and be more in depth, I will do that in the comment section, but there's too much information to really discuss, so it's just better for y'all to see. Starting with EBK, was the previous Prime admin before Mass X took over. One thing that was very noticeable when talking or typing, you would see how weird and self-entitled he was. For example, always saying hi to Infant's wife about every day in the Old Wells Discord, along with forming this friend group that would consist of people he liked, and others will be voted in by the inner circle or spontaneously allow somebody just to come in for no reason. Either way, you'd have to be voted in or somebody had to send you an invite from in there. People he really liked or part of his inner circle would receive insider information, meaning they would get leaks early and know the schedule ahead of time before players would know at all. So this gave us a lot of prep time and a lot of bullshitting to do. We could already have our gears and set in place for the next unit, or be farming for those specific gears. The other player base would be trying to figure out who's next, like Kazek's with his timeline, where he tries to figure out who's next and who isn't, but it's very misleading. I've noticed many people actually take that to heart, but it's never going to be accurate. Smoothtown does its own thing, and we've seen it now that it's no longer going to follow the C timeline. EBK, he was slowly getting rid of people that weren't associated with the friend group at all, so it'd be easier to control the server. Along with one thing that many people don't know is that EBK gave everybody in that friend group immunity, so it didn't matter what racial, homophobic, bigoted, or outrageous thing you said, you'd always come back. For example, if you've noticed Cringe, he says so many wild things. Time after time he's been banned, unbanned. As of recently, he's been banned permanently. That's with EBK's absence. If EBK was here, he'd get unbanned and he'd come back and do his nonsense again, but it's different now. Less toxic than it was back then, I guess. Also though, the mod applications that they do sometimes outright just announce the next mod are completely rigged. In the inner circle, they vote, or they have the discussions of who the next mod would be, who's deserving, I guess, but not really, because the last one was between Infinite and Juice, and most people don't know who Juice is, and he's a guy from Fly for Fun who merged with One later on, which consisted of Hans and other people, which have quit the game and no longer play, so him getting mod would have been the worst. I did help Infant a bit trying to get him mod, which completely worked. He told me that he was going to get mod so we get better information faster. I kind of set up Fernando to showed that he was abusing his power. I'd also mentioned throughout the chat on the main Discord that Infant was doing too much for a non-mod. There's a lot of people in the community that have been doing too much compared to the mods. They're just there to chat around or sometimes not even chat at all. But the mods would receive even more special treatment due to them modding the Discord and mostly doing nothing but copying and pasting information from One Punch Man, the strongest tips. Side by side, you can see the information and pick it out, which has been copied and which has not. And also, if you go to Lance's Discord, he has a spreadsheet of all the character builds, side notes, what's special about them, and what extra effects that people don't notice. And those guys copy it. It's blatant that these guys don't do any research or any playtesting of themselves. They just straight up copy and paste. Anything they say is just regurgitated information. The Prime admin role is not challenging and mainly consists of doing scrub work assigned by the devs, which Infant has stated is easy to do and would have taken the offer if he knew if it was that easy. But one thing Masick should have done that ABK did was provide insider information to everybody, but with him becoming new head mod, he cut off everybody. I can live without it, honestly. Like, it's nice with it so you can prepare and whatnot, but it's not really a benefit just to get this bit of information that anybody else doesn't get. But Gundam, another mod who is the official translator for Fingerfront, from my experience, never did anything that seemed admin abuse personally. He was alright as a player, but as a mod, somebody who didn't abuse his power, he did his job well. He didn't do anything to be controversial or to discriminate against people or groups or anything. He pretty much overall is a good mod. Nothing bad to say about him. Then Speedy is a mod. He wasn't chosen for his innovation in the game or for his tactics. He was mainly chosen to replace Lulu, who was very talkative, interactive with the community a lot, and that's all he does. Besides, he posts information like the monthly calendars the devs do themselves, because I don't see him doing it. And plus, there's so many translation errors that I doubt he even makes them. He just copies and pastes it. This man has not made anything. All he's doing is just collecting mod funds so he can improve his account, which they get twice monthly, and it's not weekly as Lulu said. It could be weekly, but who knows. It's probably changed with the cutbacks that they done since the game isn't really thriving as it used to be. So I mean, I like Speedy as a guy. He's a good guy, but as a mod, he's terrible at his job. Hazel, the cat guy, he'd do a way better job personally. Then there's Ghost Stalker. Ghost Stalker wasn't really talkative mod. The only way he really got in as a mod was because of his money spreadsheet, which is wonderful. Like, it's very good. Like, it's one of my few inspirations in doing my own version and trying to update it with the modern items that are available now. But other than that, he never talked to the community. He was pretty much handling the analytics side, whatever the devs gave him to do or ABK told him to do. Never talking within the community or even banning people, posting announcements at all either. Occasionally he would, but that was only if he was told to, honestly. And most of us usually refer to him as sleeping or asking why he's still a mod, which was kind of a joking manner, but somewhat not, since the man never talked in the friend group or in the actual main Discord. Overall, he's okay. Not the best or the worst. Not a guy I really want to interact with the community. Most of them have their own designated role to do things, but most of them don't even handle it well at all either. Then Infinite's a mod. It's quite weird how to describe this guy. I mean, he's been my leader for about a whole year now, in almost 2 years. Infinite has been a good leader, like one of the first leaders I've actually respected and followed. If he told me to do something blindly, I would. But as of recent times, he's changed so much. It's not the old Infinite I knew. Infinite is one of EBK's closest friends, which his main goal was to become a mod, to get more information. He received insider info from other guys. Basically, the mods or the inner circle gave it to him. And once they got more accustomed to him and liked him, they invited him in. They would only tell a few members within their respective clubs. They would feed some information to their members, and not really. As of now, they banned me from their Discord just because I leaked something, which they could have talked to me about, saying, oh, you shouldn't have done this. But no, straight up banned me and acted so corny about it too. Justin wants to take the high road on everything, but he's a part of this group. He saw all the bad things that happened and didn't really try to stop it. I mean, he tried to persuade them, but never happened. Wells, we had our own group that consisted of friends and high spenders. We would hold meetings to discuss the new information, doing it discreetly where it doesn't seem obvious, which we did, but over the time, Infant closed off the info, stopped giving it to us slowly since most of the members left. And when that happened, I decided to ask a data miner to try to retrieve information within the game, but Infant was a part of the same community I was, BCM, and Sky, or Vanilla Sky. She was one of the data miners at the time for BCM and no longer is due to personal reasons. He saw that message that I posted on her Discord and he swayed me to delete that post, but also gave me some information to satisfy my appetite for early news. Some may wonder why I'm releasing this now and why I didn't, because I was selfish. I enjoy being a part of it. It allowed me to be ahead of the game, and it also gave me more time to learn more accurate in my information. Like, most people were still trying to learn the characters that recently came out and how they work, planning for the future, but with us, we already knew what was happening. Like with King coming out, we already knew King was coming out, so we were just preparing for King. I pulled Sonic early on, but like, I'll just have it for my second team, honestly. But I always knew that King was around the corner, and most players were caught off guard by the first wheel. Like, we prepared gears months in advance. My mindset changed once Lulu made a small leak on Reddit, basically. Like, I've been linking like to YouTubers like Gamma and inside KZX's community a bit as well, but I'd slightly leak it since it was pretty much safe, since there was no mods or any of the people in the friend group associated in there, so it was safe. But now that Infant's there, it is no longer safe. For me, I was hoping Lulu to leak more information about the friend group, but for some reason he spared the friend group. I'm picking up from where he left off and leaking everything that has gone on in this friend group. The mods know who's releasing next and which units are in a hero backup stick. It's not just like, oh, we just received the info last second, we didn't know this. Oh, EBK has stated that they understand what is happening months in advance, but there may be some changes, but they still know what's happening. One of the first hero backup sticks was supposedly supposed to be ATT. I do not have any screenshots about this conversation. We did have a call about it with Infant, Jungkook. Infant brought it and lost. They were able to convince the devs by basically telling them that after that happens, they will see a plummet in revenue, which scared them. Anything that hurts them from making money, they will backpedal to reduce the chance of losing out revenue. Like, those guys are terrified of losing money. You saw in the first Machine Factory, they weren't supposed to give full diagrams, but they did. And they couldn't backpedal because people will buy the shit out of that. And also, if they did backpedal, that'll be false advertisement since it's life, which is a W for us, W players and L devs. There's so many bugs in this game we've noticed that have been here forever. Like, upgrading green gear gives you BP, but it's not even real BP, it's pseudo BP. Like, it's not even there. It shows that the number increases, but it doesn't really. Then with the first anniversary, they didn't even bother fixing the city, whatever you call it, the logo. It was like all black or be f***ed up some way. Like, they've stopped caring about bugs. If it doesn't hurt the money, they'll just let it be. But if it hurts the money, they'll fix it. Also, going back to the YouTuber side, like Kazak, One Strike Dog, and Gamma. One of the main reasons didn't go towards them. Well, One Strike Dog was already gone by then since EBK raided his server. One Strike Dog released that GG was in the hero backup stick. Straight up banned him, raid the server, ban guys. You guys will see a lot of images to see really. I couldn't really trust Kazak since it seemed that he did not care much about exposing the truth. I mean, he briefly talked about it on his video about him trying to quit, going to quit. I don't even know. It is what it is, whatever he says. Like, he tries to mention it, but then he states himself that that's not for his channel, but then does for a brief moment. Like with the nudie incident that happened and with me exposing him, besides stating along with being a very close friend to Infant, it's hard to really trust the guy. With Kazax, he never really exposed nudie at all and not really spread it around in the community. He said, oh, it's about the business. Kazax did comment on my nudie exposing video, acknowledging he was in the wrong. Have to give him some credit for that, but like, Opie still has nuding in the server, whereas they try to defend, oh, he's just some kid, he doesn't know what he's doing. This community is so weird half the time. Like, they try to defend their own criminals. At one time, EBK was feeding information to Gamma, One Strike Dog, and Kazax, Massex. Massex is basically the YouTuber you gotta watch for early leaks. Like, if you post a video and you see it's GG, DSK, those are the next guys for the next month. Now you know. Everybody else doesn't get information. He's the only guy that does. Massex is part of the friend group too, and that's why he kept getting information. And now that he's Prime Admin, he can easily plan out his videos. One of the main reasons I didn't go with Gamma, I mean, he did his own exposed video about the mods and what they've done and what they said. Like, he's no longer on his channel unless he's like privated or unlisted or whatever he's done. He was silenced. Infant probably told him, hey man, can you please take down the video? I know it's been some while, but we're in some good standing, blah blah blah. I won't take this video down. If they try to, I'll just repost it because I am doing this for the community. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm losing everything. The main reason I'm doing this is for y'all to see and to stop wasting your money on this fucking game. Then after you see this video, it's your decision to continue spending or free to play it out or just straight up quit. Is up to you, man. Since the mods don't care about you, they've always been dissing you, and if you act out of line and do something they don't like, they will just straight up raid you and ban you. These guys should not have mod powers, but they do. Personally, I don't know what's going to happen after this. That's why I left every Discord. Don't want anyone to seem that they were associated with me creating of this video, since I'm the only one that pretty much exposed this or really wanted to. Hope you guys who support me stick with me, and if you don't support me, feel free to unsubscribe and do whatever you want. Be answering questions in the comment section or in my Discord. Not sure how long it'll take for this to blow over, but it's gonna be a doozy, man. Mostly begging for y'all to really spread this video around. Link this video to as many people as you can. We need the community to know what terrible things the mods have been doing behind our backs and what schemes they've been planning as well. But with this set in stone, I hope you guys have a good day.